Hi everyone, Dr. Horn here. I wanted to take a minute and just kind of demonstrate to you how to get your Excel project workbook started. Remember I told you in an earlier message that it's going to be a scaffolding effect, and so I'm going to show you how to actually get the workbook started, okay? Alright, so I am going to go to the sec.gov website, and I'm going to share my screen with you right here. Okay, there we go. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go, like I said, to the sec.gov website, and I'm trying to get rid of this little box down here. There it goes. Alright, you want to go to the Search Edgar tab right there. Okay, and I don't have time to do that, so I'm not going to. So I'm going to demonstrate it to you with Apple. Okay, so I know that Apple's ticker symbol is AAPL. Okay, and sure enough, there it is. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, now I am going to get to our 10K, since the 10K is the report that we're after. I'm going to go just hit this Browse Filing Types. And I'm going to find the 10K report here, and I'm going to select it. And lo and behold, there are the last 5 years of 10K reports, okay? And so you'll see they filed it on October the 25th, and they're reporting their year end is September 27th in 2025, okay? So I'm going to open that report up, okay? And here's the report. Please don't ever try to print these things. Okay, so you've got two options here, Open Document and Open Filing. I'm going to select Open Filing, okay, and I'm going to come, you'll see here on the top line under Description it says 10K, so you could click on it there and see the actual report. But I'm going to come to this little green button over here that says Interactive Data, and I'm going to click on it. Now, it used to, when you came here, there was a nice little thing here that said download to Excel, and they took that away in 2025. So I'm going to show you a workaround for that. So you'll see here on the left-hand side, you'll see listed here financial statements. That's where you want to go. And you'll notice still on the left-hand side that it tells you the different types. You've got the statement of operations or the income statement. The statement of comprehensive income, we don't want that one. The consolidated balance sheet, we do want. And then down here at the bottom, the consolidated statements of cash flow. So the cash flow statement, the balance sheet, and the statement of operations are the three statements that you're going to need. So I'm going to click on the income statement here. All right, and there she is in all her glory. I'm going to take, hopefully, in this course you already know how to use Excel and use the copy paste feature. So I'm just going to left click and highlight the entire worksheet like that. And then I'm going to right click it and copy it. Then I'm going to go to a blank Excel worksheet here, and I'm just going to paste it right in there. Okay, so now I've got all the information in there. Okay, and so it actually came over kind of pretty this time. Alright, so here's what we need to do. If all of your numbers come out and they're left justified, just highlight them and go up here and hit your alignment to be right justified, okay? And so we've got all the information that we were really only interested in, everything down to the net income, but I would encourage you to go ahead and leave this other information because it might come in handy for you later. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to take and copy over all the way down to net income. I'm going to take that and I'm going to copy it over here to the right for just a minute. All right? And then this is part of the formatting that you will do, and this is very important, okay? Because this is the way you demonstrate that you understand where these figures come from. So I know that gross margin is nothing more than net sales minus cost of sales. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put a formula that the net sales minus the cost of sales is, and I've got my formula there, okay? Does it match? Yes. So I'm just going to take and copy that over. Okay, and now I've got my formulas there because you're going to lose points if you don't put these formulas in, okay? While I'm here, to complete my formatting, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put in my top and bottom rows, and I'm going to bold it, okay? So now, there we go. Perfect. That's exactly what you're going to do. Now, the next section is my operating expenses, and so here's my total. So I know that that 62,000 is the sum of the 34 and the 27, so I'm going to do the same thing and put a formula there, and I'm going to copy it over, and does it match? 62, 57, 54. While I'm there, I'm going to bold it and put my lines, okay? Then my operating income, that is my gross margin minus my total operating expenses. So let's see if we can make a formula there. And we do. Does it match? Yes, it does. And I'm just going to scroll that over. And again, I'm going to bold it and put my lines there. Okay? So the next section is other income or expense. Okay? And so this gives us our income before the provision, before taxes, basically. So I know that this 132 is actually the 133 minus the 321. Notice that on this row, okay, you could have income or expense. If it's income, it's a positive number, as in 2024 here. If it's negative, if it's expense, it's negative. Either way, I'm just going to do this row plus this row, okay, and then I'm going to drag it across and make sure that that matches, and it does. Going to do the same thing with my formatting, okay. Then my final thing is my net income, and so I have to deduct my taxes from my EBIT. So, wrong thing. So I'm just going to put in my equal, and I'm going to put in the 132 minus the 20, okay, and drag it across. Go ahead and format it. Does it match? 112, 93, 96. It matches. So I can get rid of this over here on the side now. I'm just going to delete those columns. Okay, but I'm still not done. So I've got to head it up. If I go back over, oh shoot, if I go back over here to my instructions, let me pull those up and change my screen real quick for you. Oh, it put it up there. How about that? You'll notice that, after you go through all of this, it's telling you, what to do. You notice that the top, this is, of course, the balance sheet, but you're going to do the income statement the same way, okay? It's going to be Apple Inc. Let me show you. So here's what we'll do. Let me here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure I've got 4 blank lines. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and insert. Then I'm going to merge each row from column A to column D because I want my header to be very in line with my table, okay? So from A to D, I'm going to highlight I'm going to merge each one of those into that. So then in the top, I'm going to type Apple Inc. Okay, that's my company. Let's see, so the next thing is the name of it. So this is going to be my consolidated statement of operations. Consolidated statement of operations. And it's going to, for my dates, let's see, as of, and you can actually come down here and highlight those different dates if you want to, and bring them back up here and paste them, comma, go get the next. It's up to you. If it's quicker for you to type it, that's fine. Sometimes I'm lazy and I just take shortcuts. So, okay, and then copy and come back up here. Okay, and there. Whoop. Uh-oh. Didn't do. All right, hold on just a sec. And copy and, all right, there we go. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to take, let's see, I can delete this now. And the 12 months ended. I'm going to move this up here on my 4th row. Oh, and it won't because it's merged. I got to remerge it. No big deal. All right, and then I can get rid of these 2 blank lines. This is all formatting. Okay, and here we are. There you go. And you're going to come down here and you're going to name this your company, Apple. In this case, it's Apple Historical Income Statement, or whatever you need to call it. Okay. Ooh. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right. So then you're going to go back and you're going to do the balance sheet. Okay. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to come to the balance sheet and you're going to highlight it and you're going to put it in the next workbook or the next worksheet. And then you're going to do your statement of cash flows and you're going to do it. Now notice, for the statement of operations and the statement of cash flows, you have 3 years. However, GAAP only requires a company to report 2 years of the balance sheet, okay? So when you bring your balance sheet over, okay, sometimes this can get a little tricky if you let it. I'm going to go to my next tab here, and I'm going to throw my balance sheet in here, okay? So I've only got, you see, I've only got 2 years. So what you have to do is you have to go back here and you have to go back to the annual report, the 10K, prior to the most recent one. Go through the same process: interactive data, financial statements, consolidated balance sheet. And what I would do in this case is I would actually copy the whole thing, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Instead of that one column, I would actually consider copying the entire thing, okay? And that way, you know that you're, actually, I'm going to cut real quick. This is just coming from years of doing this. So now I've got my 24 side by side, and I see it lines up. So there's no new accounts or accounts that were done away with or anything like that, okay? So now I can delete the second one, and I can delete those headings again. But if you do have where you have a difference in the 2 years, maybe they combined an account the next year, or you know, could be vice versa. All you'll do is enter a line, a row, insert a row, and come over here and get that, because I had the captions over there, and put it there. So very simple thing to do. But then you're going to do the same thing, folks. You're going to get the formulas for your current assets. For, in this case, they show total non-current assets. And then you're going to add those together and get your total assets. Then you're going to come down and get your total current liabilities. You're going to do that same process with the formulas. So remember to copy this over to the right so that you can see what those actual figures are, so that when you put in your formulas, you know it's doing correctly. It's adding it correctly. And then you'll do the very same thing. You'll insert the blank 4 lines, okay? And you'll come back and you'll format it exactly like the instructions say here, okay? But yours will be your company. All right. And so you could, if you want to color headings and rows, I don't have a bit of problem with that. I don't expect you to color things. The other thing, after you do that, or you may even do it first, you want to go in your workbook, and you want to create, let's see, insert a worksheet, because the first tab is going to be, that thing would quit popping up. My Zoom keeps getting in the way. Let's see if I can move it over. There. Okay, so in this first sheet, this is going to be your company information. Okay, and you're going to set this up exactly like it shows in the instructions. Okay, it's got the wrong class number on there, but 369. Let's see, what does it say? It says Excel project. Okay, you don't even have to put that. If you just want to put your company name up there, like I would put Apple Inc. And then on the next row, let me see if I can get these side by side. On the next row, it's going to be, let's see, Apple, company information, and then your name, okay? All right, and then you're going to have, in the first column, you're going to have, I'm really doing this backwards here. Let me see, make it smaller. Here we go. You're going to have, and we'll skip a line, and then in the first column, it's going to be company name, ticker symbol, industry, products and services offered, and major competitors, okay? Try to name at least 3 of the major competitors. All right, so then you're going to type that information in over here. I would just expand my column B. And then I would do the same thing for my header, because you always want your header centered over your report. So just take each one and merge it over like that, okay? And then like you would have your, Apple Inc., AAPL, industry, what are they, electronic? They're either electronics or software. I'd have to go look now, but you can Google industry codes and everything on the internet and get that. What do they offer? They got iPhone, they got, tablets, just list all that. And then, like I said, try to name at least 3 competitors, okay? Who are Apple, I can't spell. Who are Apple's, biggest competitors, all right? Because that's going to come into play in part 2 of the project, okay? All right, so that's how you would do that. And so you'd have your first tab would be company information. Your second tab is going to be, whatever it tells you here. And all those are listed for you here in the instructions. Tab 1 is your company information. Tab 2 is your historical income statement. Tab 3 is your balance sheet, and tab 4 is your statement of cash flows, okay? And then here's all the formatting that you just watched me do. It looks like a lot, but it's pretty simple, okay? All right, so hopefully then that is going to get you started on your Excel workbook, and then we're just going to build on that each time we have a project due. All right, thank you.